Hey guys, I'm filming this video in a pretty cool spot. It's a shoreline that has been redone along the Susquehanna River. In fact, it's been a major project because what they're doing is they're putting in what's called a living shoreline. And it does a number of things. It creates habitat for lots of wildlife, plus provides filtration from all the streets runoff and all the water before it dumps into the river. And then it's just a place of beauty where plants, natural plants and flowers are growing and budding. And it's a pretty cool concept as they're really working to maintain the beauty of the river and the shoreline here. Now, what does that have to do with church planting? Well, I'm praying that you've been praying through Isaiah 55. Now, Isaiah 55 is such a powerful chapter. Maybe you've prayed through the whole chapter, but I asked you specifically to pray through verses 10 and 11 and ask God to give you insight into those verses. So for this next week, I want you to dig a little deeper. I want you to just look at verse 10. So yes, last week 10 and 11, it kind of gives the context of those two verses. But this week, just ask the Lord to speak to you about verse 10. And let me read it for you. As the rain and snow come down from heaven, and do not return to it without watering the earth and making it bud and flourish, so that it yields seed for the sower and bread for the eater. And we're just going to stop there. Now, what does the Lord have for you? What does the Lord have for us in this verse, verse 10? So here's some thoughts. One, this is a river behind me. And do you know, as rain falls, it runs down the mountainsides and kind of flows through the valleys. And most of the water from the mountains of eastern Pennsylvania, if they don't dump into the Delaware River, they flow into the Susquehanna River. And it's amazing, one raindrop doesn't have that much power. You can barely see it on your windshield when you're driving. But collect the raindrops, pool them up, and there's incredible power. It's an amazing thing. The second is the water that comes from heaven produces life. Life emerges. And that's one part of our prayers. And I'm praying the Lord is speaking to you about that, about how he's the giver and author of life. But in there, did you see? Not only does it produce life, but it produces a harvest that produces seed for the next harvest. There's multiplication in this verse. Now, I don't want to give it all away. I don't want to tell you what to see in the verse, but I just want to challenge you to dig deeper. So this next week, as you're praying about the Catalyst Gathering, as you're praying about what God wants to do among us in this church multiplication movement, seek the heart of God and pray this verse and say, Lord, what do you have for me? And then ask the Lord, what do you have for us? So when we gather together, we're going to spend time hearing from the Lord and encouraging one another. So thanks for your prayers. If you haven't signed up, do so. Now is the time. This is it. This is the final opportunity to sign up. We got to make all the arrangements. We don't want you to miss it. So click that link. But more than that, pray. Whether you can get there or not, pray, pray, pray for what God's going to do among us.